I don't like long intros, so we're gonna get straight into the video. Today's gonna be episode 1 of my Disgaea PC Let's Play series here on the channel. Now, this game actually initially came out in the early 2000s, like, I don't know, 2003? I'll put it up on the screen when the first game came out. There are 7 mainline installments, as well as a few spin-offs. So this game franchise is pretty well beloved within the strategy RPG community, but this game never really got mainstream or sort of mainstream love. So if you've never heard of it, but you are interested in strategy RPGs, then make sure to stick around. This is Disgaea PC, which is the PC port of this game. There are different versions of Disgaea 1. The best version, in my honest opinion, is Disgaea 1 Complete, which is on the PlayStation 4. The only reason I'm playing on the PC is because I just wanted to unlock all the achievements again. I don't know. I really enjoy this game and I have a lot of fun, so I'm really excited to share it with you guys. If you do enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. I will be uploading this alongside my Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play series. We do not have audio issues here. This is the first series that I'm filming on my own where the audio is exactly where I want it to be. So I'm very proud of that and happy to share it. Having said all that, and with all that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one.
King Krijevskoy, the mighty ruler of the Netherworld. His long reign came to an abrupt end as the news of his death spread throughout the Dark Land. Ambitious demons rose one after another to seize the opportunity. And thus began the age of turbulence and anarchy. 2 years later,
just won't wake up. Well, if that's the case, there's only one thing left to do.
What fool dares awaken me, the great Laharl?
Oh, Prince! I'm glad you're still alive.
Who said I was dead? I was just taking a nap. Anyways, why are all those weapons behind you?
Well, I was having a hard time waking you up.
Are you sure you weren't trying to kill me instead?
No! I mean, yes. I just wanted to wake you up.
Whatever. So, what is it? You better have a good reason for waking me up.
Oh, yeah! Big news! Your father, King Krijevskoy, has died!
He what? When?
2 years ago.
Wait a second. So, you're telling me that I've been sleeping for over 2 years?
Yep.
Yup? Why didn't you wake me up earlier?
Excuse me, but what do you think I've been doing all this time? The Netherworld has gone to hell while you were sleeping. It's not my fault if some other demon steals the title of Overlord.
What? Have they forgotten whose title they're trying to steal? How bold of them! I shall show no mercy, for I am Laharl, the rightful heir to the throne!
Your humble vassal Etna will accompany you.
Etna joined your party.
Episode 1, Prince of the Netherworld.
All right, first things first, we're gonna go into our settings. We're gonna lower the The background music message, is that the voice acting? I think it might be. Let's leave message at 5. Lower the volume. I don't know what SE means, but the background music, lower all that. English. Okay. So what's going on, guys? Not a single round left in that Gatling gun. A lovely morning star. A cool looking drill. A couple of these torches knocked over. A nice sword, but it's chipped. So what's going on, guys? This is Disgaea. This is a very we'll talk about it in a second. New ally joined my party. They just give you plein air? We have Laharl, Etna, and plein air. I'm a little confused by that. There's a switch. Will you press it? Yes, we will. So let's just take a moment and talk. This is Disgaea. This is a strategy grid-based role-playing game. So we're gonna be playing on sort of like a chessboard sort of thing. It is an RPG. We have our main character here, Laharl. We have his vassal Etna, and we have plein air. We'll talk about plein air later. I'm a little surprised that we already have her in her party. Narratively, Laharl has been sleeping for 2 years, and his father, the Overlord, King Krajewskoy, has died. The Overlord is sort of like the the leader, the king, the president, the whatever you want to call it of this realm. This is the Netherworld. The Netherworld is sort of like a hell-esque sort of environment, and all the creatures, or the overwhelming majority of creatures and characters and people that we will be meeting, fighting, and anything in between are demons. I don't fuck with demons. Me personally, I don't like demonic shit, but this game is great. This series of games, well, I can't say this series of games because I've only played the first. I've actually played this game before. I've only ever played Disgaea 2. I mean, Disgaea 1. But there are like 9 Disgaea games. So we're going to be covering them here on the channel. So plein air, we'll talk about her later. So I pressed a button back here. Reason being is because it will unlock something that we will be covering here on the channel. So let's just talk to these guys here. This is Manti. He's level 316. Let's see what he has to say. That's just like you, Prince, taking a 2-year nap. I only plan on napping for about 10 days. Something's not right. Drati, level 394. Tons of HP. Oh, well, looks like I wasted my time digging that grave for you. I'll put you in that grave instead. All the royal vassals left the castle shortly after the king died. Even with me still around? Well, you were sleeping. They must have forgotten about you. This is Golek. So Disgaea 1, I'm sure I covered all of this in the intro already, but it's the music shop. Under construction, please come back later. Gargo. In order to prevent intruders, I have closed all the gates. Please talk to the dimensional gatekeeper if you'd like to leave the castle. Yeah, whatever. You probably just didn't want to watch the gate. Moloch. I feel a breeze, dude. This castle is getting old. Good morning, Prince. How are you feeling? Couldn't be worse. My body feels really stiff from sleeping too much. Why don't you warm up on the tutorial map? Go see the dimensional gatekeeper and she'll send you there. This is Goss. Etna's suggesting that we go to the tutorial map. Is there a problem, Prince? I, Longinus, am at your service. Would you like to know about a weapon? There's so much to talk about in regards to this game. Items can be purchased at the Rosin Queen Co. Netherworld branch. Each character can equip up to 4 items. A character can equip 1 weapon and 3 other items such as armor. Monsters can only equip weapons from the monster-only weapons category. It is best to equip a weapon that suits a character's inherent strengths. There's a switch. Will you press it? Yes. Eat, sleep, and do anything you want all day. It's so good to be a demon. Have you ever thought of working for me? Of course not. I'm trying to remember where the third switch is.
Prince, I'm going to the bathroom, okay?
Oh, there's only 2 switches. My memory. This is my secret chamber. Only I know how to get in here. This is where my most precious memories were locked away. That I remember, but I can't remember what they were. When I try to remember, my heart aches. This pain is proof of how dear those memories are to me. I have to get them back. So those 2 switches unlock this corner here. This corner here is Etna's secret room. She likes to go in there privately and document her experiences and also talk about, you know, what's going on with her. So she is talking about losing her memories, or that her memories were taken from her. Let's talk to more NPCs. This is reception. The assembly is currently not in session. Amy. Tutorial for beginners. There are many features in this game like the Dark World Assembly and the Item World. Ask the appropriate people for more info. Don't worry, you can still beat the game with minimal knowledge. And this is the save shop. I keep the Netherworld's records. Here you may review the history of the Netherworld. If you get an item, it will be recorded and won't disappear even if you get rid of it. Though this is just a record, it might be useful to you as a guide. Records aren't worth any money or anything, but they can be fun. How you use my records depends on you. There's always someone better. You should keep working hard. That's actually words that I live by. This is Madonna. Welcome to the Netherworld Hospital. Here we'll treat your wounds and heal any and all damage you may have taken. We will of course charge you accordingly. You can earn prizes based on the total HP and SP that have been recovered, so please go get thrashed in battle. Celsia. This is the Item World Gateway Center. We are not open yet. Jan and George. Weapon shop. Welcome to the Rosen Queen. I suggest you equip weapons that are well suited for each character. If you equip a warrior with a sword, his level of weapon mastery will quickly rise. You can have characters use weapons that are not best for them, but their weapon mastery will rise at a slower rate. Regardless of a character's ability with a sword, sword special techniques cannot be used unless the sword is equipped. It's best to focus on each character's specialties to start with. So she's got plenty of stuff for sale. We got about 300 hell. Hell is the currency in Disgaea. I'm probably not going to be calling them hell. I'm just going to call them dollars, most likely. I am using a PS5 controller, so although on the screen it's showing Xbox buttons, we are playing on the PC. There it is. Okay. Battle Depot. Welcome to the Rosen Queen Company. We are here at Rosen Queen. Work hard day and night to offer a selection of merchandise that customers want. Our selection is constantly changing. If you don't find something you want, try coming back at a later time. Please take your time. This is basically the armor store. Armor and items. You get armor and items from this guy. You get weapons from this lady. Let's talk about Plenaire real quick. Plenaire is, we're going to be using her. She's quite good with guns. Plenaire is actually where this Prinny's supposed to be. This receptionist was supposed to be Plenaire. We'll talk more about the mechanics of this specific NPC when the time comes, but we get Plenaire in our party. We just get her given to us, which is rather interesting. But we've been yapping. Tutorial, have you saved yet? When you want to save, press Y or triangle to open the menu and select save. You can only save in the Netherworld's castle. In the Overlord's castle. Once you have entered an area map, there's no turning back, so be careful. All right, let's save our game. Did it go through? It did. Okay. That's enough yapping. Let's talk to Sophia. I am the dimensional gatekeeper. I will input the coordinates for your desired destination, Prince, and you will instantly be transported there. Please select where you would like to go. We're gonna go to the tutorial. Battle Basics 1.
Now then, time for a little warm-up. I feel a little rusty.
Prince, we've got company.
Stray demons, huh?
Allow me, Prince. You may be a little out of practice after your long slumber. Don't worry, I came prepared. Come on, Prinny Squad!
here! Now!
So, Prince, what do you think of this pretty squad I hired? They're my loyal servants. They'll do anything I say.
Are you sure about that?
See? They're loyal.
Does it make sense to beat up your allies before a battle? Anyways, I think we've made those demons wait long enough already.
Hey, you're right. How nice of them to be so patient.
Yeah, that's considerate of them. To show my appreciation, I'll only beat them half to death.
Oh, you're so kind. If I were you, I'd beat them all the way to death.
Kind? Stop that! That word gives me goosebumps! Damn it! I take it back! I'm gonna beat them all the way to death!
He's still a kid, so quick-tempered. It looks like carrying out my plan will be a lot easier than I thought.
You say something!
Oh, nothing at all. So, what are your orders, Prince? You do remember how to fight, right?
I do. So although this is a tutorial, I do remember how to, play the game. So we're not really gonna dwell too much on the dialogue here where she's explaining what to do, but just in case you forgot, let me explain the basics of battle. So I already know what to do. I can kind of just explain the stuff to you. The game is like sort of playing, like I'm not touching anything. The game is playing itself right now. It's teaching me, even though I already know what to do. So we're gonna skip through it. So like I said, this is a chessboard. This is a grid sort of thing. So that is our base panel. So what we want to do is we want to be able to call out our units from that base panel. That base panel is sort of like the start panel on your board. So that's where we're going to be bringing out all of our characters. You can have, I believe, a maximum of 10 characters on the board at any given time. Obviously, right now we have Laharl, Etna, Planair, and we have the 3 Prinnies from Etna's Prinnie Squad. So that's 6 total characters. I'm not going to be using the Prinnies because they're not very good. They're more of like a, throwaway unit, or just a unit you have there to sort of assist your better characters. So I'm not really gonna be using them. I'm gonna be using mainly Laharl, Etna, and Planair. So there's 3 demons here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Laharl come out, and we want him to attack this enemy from behind. The reason you want to attack from behind or from the side is because it does extra damage. So we'll have Laharl set up to attack. Etna, she'll come over here. We'll have her assist. We're not going to be hitting our allies, although you can actually shut this off in your settings, I believe. Gonna have her help, and then we'll have Planair keep her distance a little bit because she is using a gun. So now we're gonna end our turn. You can either execute and every command that you had inputted will go through, but then your turn will continue. So like, let's say if I use execute right now, Laharl, Etna, and Planair will all attack this demon. And then if I wanted to, I could bring out the Prinnies and position them however I wanted to position them. Or you could just end your turn. And when you click end your turn, if you perform no actions, then the turn will just end. But if you did prime some actions to go through, it will execute them first and then your turn will end. So we're just gonna end our turn now. Okay, so we actually one-shot that demon. I wasn't expecting that. Etna counters, Laharl counters. So Laharl is sort of going to be our workhorse character for majority of the game, pretty much. So we're going to make sure that Laharl gets the kills and experience. The reason we position Etna next to Laharl is because they're going to execute a combo move. When you have characters next to each other and one of them is attacking, your characters that are next to each other will combo, and if they get the kill, they'll both get experience. Okay, Etna didn't attack. Maybe it's because she wasn't facing the right way. I'm unsure. Trial and error. So we got 36 hell, and we got a bonus of 30, so we got 66 hell from that. Remember, hell is our currency. So here's stage 2. We're gonna just skip through. Again, it's all combat stuff. I can just explain it as I go, even though I am horrible at explaining things. So with this tutorial, what they're pretty much explaining is throwing mechanics. What you're able to do is you can actually pick up enemies and or allies and throw them. But a fun fact about Prinnies: if a Prinnie is thrown, it will explode and die. It doesn't matter if the Prinnie is max level with max HP, it will die. It's just a mechanic about Prinnies, unless there are specific circumstances on a stage or a world or a narrative reason as to why they wouldn't die. Now, there is a maximum throwing distance that depends on the character. Just like how there's a maximum movement distance. Jumping is also in this game, so there will be areas of the map that are higher than others. Some characters will be able to just jump up there, others will not. All of this is very stat specific and class specific as well. These stats are visible, so I'll show you. So Laharl has a movement. He can move 6 spaces, and he has a jump stat of 20. The jump doesn't mean that he can jump like 20 spaces up. I'm really unsure as to what the number means, but obviously higher is better. Etna, on the other hand, can only move 5 spaces. The Prinnies can also move 5, and Plenair can move 5. So Laharl can move the furthest out of our party thus far. So what we can get Laharl to do is we can get him to kill this demon over here, right? When you hover over enemies and allies, you can see their, a brief little, their stats at a glance. So we can see their level, HP, SP, movement, jump, and their resistances as well as weaknesses. So Laharl has no resistances to fire, wind, or ice, and he's not weak to any of them either. This demon is weak to wind magic, but is resistant to ice. So these are things to keep in mind if you're really trying to min-max the amount of damage that you do. So we'll have Laharl attack, but I want Etna to stand next to him. I want her to gain some HP. In regards to where, the angle in which she's standing, I think that there is a way to shift the way she's facing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not. But all right, whatever. They're next to each other. Hopefully they'll combo. Plenair, I'm gonna have her just shoot this demon. So her attack distance, she has a much larger attack range than obviously Etna and Laharl, because she has a gun, which is a ranged weapon. Etna can attack. Etna uses spears. Although I can change her weapon if I feel like it, but we're gonna have her use spears. Laharl can only attack something that's directly in front of him. Etna can attack something that is 2 spaces away from her because of the spear. So we'll have them attack, and we'll just end our turn. Okay. So we're just gonna continue to play, and we'll talk about things as we go. I'm really trying to keep Plenair at a distance. I really like Plenair. She was first able to be used in game as like a playable character in Disgaea DS, which I actively played with my cousin Nicholas, and she was great. She's great. She's a great character. I want Etna to gain this XP. She's still level 1, so let's try and help her get the kill here, and then let's execute. She couldn't finish the kill, so we'll just finish him off. Etna isn't really that strong. Never really gets that strong. Spears, I don't feel spears are actually that great in this game. We got a wooden staff as a reward. So now it's going to teach us about geopanels. This is another mechanic in the game. This is sort of like maybe the final mechanic in combat. I'll just tell you guys, geopanels, it's those triangle things. And they create an effect. So perhaps on certain maps, there will be some zones. So for example, you can see the red tiles and you can see the blue tiles. So a geopanel is that triangle device. And if that device is thrown on a zone, whatever the device's ability is, will translate to every single panel within the zone. So for example, this geo symbol gives an enemy boost plus 50%. So it's gonna boost our enemies by 50%. I believe that's in all their stats. So what the game is showing us here is that we can lift geopanels and relocate them. So the game is showing us that Laurel picked up the geopanel off the blue zone and threw it to the red zone. So although now enemies within blue zones will not have an enemy boost plus 50%, enemies in the red zones will have plus 50%. So you're probably thinking, well then, why would I relocate the geopanel? For, well, this specific one, yeah, it doesn't benefit us to relocate it to a different zone. So what we can do is either attack it and destroy it, because it does have a health pool. Geopanels do have health pools. Or we can pick the geopanel up and throw it to a zoneless cell on the grid. So obviously not everything, not every single cell on the grid is blue. So we can throw it to like off to the side where it doesn't belong to any sort of zone, and the geopanel will then be ineffective. So I'm sorry, I'm like awful at explaining things. So to boil all this down, geopanels will have effects in the zone that they are in. If a geopanel is thrown outside of any zone, like if I throw a geopanel over here where it's not colored, it's a non-colored zone, then it will not affect anything. It'll be rendered obsolete. I can either throw it over there or I can go and destroy it. So let's look at these geopanels here. This geopanel is providing to blue spaces a plus 50% in defense. This geopanel here is providing plus 50% XP and plus 50% health on red panels. So it benefits us to actually stand in blue panels and kill enemies in red panels, because we'll get plus 50% XP and plus 50% health, which is currency. So that's precisely what we are going to do. We're going to occupy the blue panels, and we're gonna try and influence enemies to stay in red panels. Then we'll talk about destroying geopanels and how they affect these zones in just a second. So there's multiple. This geopanel here is specifically responsible for the plus 50% XP. This one here is specifically responsible for the plus 50% in hell. So together, since they're both on red panels, since they're both on red tiles, they combine together to have that joint effect on any enemy or any unit that is on a red tile. Okay. Gonna have Laharo come here and hopefully kill this enemy. No, enemy's not dead. Etna's most likely gonna die. So we're gonna bring her over here. We're gonna have her defend. I don't want her dead. We'll have Etna Planair push up. And I want her to kill Stigma. Okay, end turn. So let's say I want to destroy the Geo panel, right? Let's say that's what I decide to do. I'm like, you know what? This Geo panel has to go. If you destroy a Geo panel, it will then... How do I explain it? If I had this, it's dependent on the color. So this is a blue Geo panel, but it's on a red square. It's on a red space. So if I destroy this Geo panel, it will then destroy all red panels and turn them blue. When it destroys all the red panels, it will damage any unit or other Geo panel that is also within that color. If that makes any sense. I'm awful at explaining things. I truly apologize. I'm really sorry. I'm so bad at explaining things. So Etna, because her proficiency, we'll check her status. We can look at the spears in the center of the screen. It is now level 1. Because of that, because it has leveled up to level 1, her mastery went up. We actually got a special ability, Impaler. So it costs 3 SP. SP is like skill points. It's like, think of it like mana, you know, or magic, your magic stat in our Kingdom Hearts series. If you have SP, Etna has 9 out of 9 right now. She's fully stocked on SP. You can use an ability. However, abilities have effects. So it will attack this demon, right? And we can see that in the blue square, right? Etna's in the red square. Like, that's confirming where your character is. And it will attack the enemy in the blue square. That's sort of your confirmation point. But the yellow square means displacement. So Etna will attack this enemy, but then she will jump back 1 square. Let me show you. Just like that. She will be displaced. Your yellow square signifies displacement. Your red square signifies where your character currently is. And the blue square signifies where the character will attack. So this is a lot of information. I'm really shitty at explaining things. But I hope you guys are at least following to some degree. As we get through the game, more and more things will make more and more sense. I'm starting to get the hang of things again. Okay then, are you ready to request some allies at the Dark Assembly? There you get to create characters who will become your loyal pupils. Loyal pupils? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. All right, let's go. So, welcome to the Dark Assembly. I'll read the tutorial segment. It's not that complicated, but here you can create characters as well as submit proposals. In order to submit proposals, you have to have energy known as mana. You can gain mana by defeating enemies. If you want, you can use the mana you have right now to make a new character. A cleric might be useful for healing, while a warrior or a brawler might come in handy when attacking. If Prince Laharo makes the characters, they will become his loyal pupils. Manage their growth carefully. What would you like to do? So let's summon the assembly. Right? So Laharo has 9 mana and Planair has 8. Let's go through Laharo. So what we can do currently is we can create a character, delete a character, or change characters' names. So let's look at what characters we can create. There's a whole roster of characters. Currently, there's not too many, but the roster will expand. So the way you create characters, obviously, but we can see here that there's different sort of mages and skulls. This is an ice a skull who, this is a blue skull who can use ice magic, this is a green skull who can use wind magic, and a red skull who can use fire magic. And the mages also follow suit. The only difference between skulls and mages is that skulls are like, you know, your guy, your male sort of character, and mages are your female sort of character. You can also create monsters. So right now we can create a hobbit, ghost, or another pretty. And then we also have humanoid characters, brawler. We have female and male brawler, and then we have female and male warrior. So what I want to do is, let's just create a cleric. So when you select a character to create, right, you can select the compatibility. Meaning, what does that mean? We have good for nothing, incompetent, average, skilled, distinguished, and genius. So the higher the level that you create a character, the more mana it naturally needs. But also there's a thing called ability points. What are ability points? So here we can see our cleric stat spread, the HP, SP, attack, defense, intelligence, speed, hit, and resistance. So good for nothings mean you have to take away 5 points from those stat attributes. So we'll do that. We'll also have to name it. We'll just name our cleric here. We'll name it after my beautiful wife, my lovely Ale. Right? And now we have to take away 5 stats because this character is currently at the good for nothing attribute. So we're not going to need attack because she's a cleric, so I feel perfectly fine in removing all 5 points out of the attack stat. All right, we're done. So we can see here her weapon mastery. Etna explained to us before that certain characters, or I don't know if it was Etna, maybe it was somebody else, certain characters will be particularly good with certain weapons. So our cleric here is not good with fists, swords, bows, or fists, swords, and spears, or guns, or axes. She's okay with bows, but she excels with staves. So you can equip any character with any weapon, but their natural intrinsic abilities with weapons affects how fast their mastery levels up. And as I just shown with Etna, as your weapon mastery levels up and goes up, you will unlock more and more useful abilities. So you kind of want abilities as fast as you can get them, or if you're super patient, then I guess it doesn't matter. This cleric here is weak to ice, but is resistant to fire. And she's gonna come with the heal spell. So we are just gonna rock with that. Let's create my lovely wife, Alejandra. And she's gonna be our healer. So she's Laharl's pupil. What does it mean to be somebody's pupil? Let's heal up. Right, we're gonna heal everyone. We didn't get a prize. To be somebody's pupil means I want to rearrange my team. Yeah, I want everybody towards the top. I'm not gonna use the pretties at all. To be someone's pupil means that I believe Ale can learn an ability from Laharl. That's not something that the game ever really explains to us. There's actually quite a handful of things and mechanics in the game that the game doesn't explain to you. So that's why, like I had mentioned before, it's actually beneficial to look up guides and read forums and stuff in regards to the Disgaea games. Going in blind is fine, you know, it's totally fine. And honestly, I recommend going in blind through the main story. But once you complete the main story, just look stuff up. Truthfully, it's gonna help you. Hey Prince, have you gone to the hospital? You should make sure to heal everybody after a battle. Treatment may not be free, it costs hell, but please heal us too, dude. Zami gave us 300 hell. So yeah, I already healed everybody up. Let's check the weapon shop right quick. So there's a whole slew of stuff. You can see on the right side of the screen, it says words like physician, statistician, teacher, broker, master. Those affect stats. We're not going to worry about it until the post game, or until later on in the series at the very least. It depends on how I feel. Let's talk to Sophia again. I have added Virus Castle to the list of available areas. It is fairly new, so I do not know much about it. However, it is rumored that a very able man lives there. What you gonna do, Prince? Should we take a peek? Definitely. I'll slaughter the master of the castle as a first step to becoming Overlord. So we completed the tutorial, we made a character, we did a bunch of yapping. I think I'm gonna call that episode there. This is gonna be a fairly short episode 1, just because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this game. Episode 2 is gonna be longer. What I want to do is, full transparency, what I want to do is I want to complete a world, 1 world per episode. So we did the tutorial, right? It wasn't much. It was like, you know, what, 3 maps, and that was it. Virus Castle is longer. I think it's 5 or 6. So I want to complete at least 1 world per episode. So we're gonna end it there at the tutorial. There was a lot to talk about. I'm gonna have to do a lot of cutting and rearranging so that I don't sound like a moron, even though I probably still will sound like a moron. But that's gonna do it for this episode. If you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let this channel grow. This is Disgaea PC, which is just a port of Disgaea 1 from the PS2, but with all of the additional quality of life stuff that they put in Disgaea DS. So I guess it's really a Disgaea DS port. I don't know. But whatever, if you did enjoy the video, blah, 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 we'll catch you in the next one.